1-800-Flowers right now. Mother's Day is coming up. Show her how much you care. $25 off 2 dozen assorted roses. 1-800-Flowers.com. Code HERD. So the interesting series is Memphis and Minnesota. It's the two youngest teams. They're not championship teams, but it's fun. Usually you get a young team, plays a veteran team, they're out in the first round. But now you have the two youngest teams, both great futures. I think Memphis has a better overall roster. I feel like they're a year ahead of the T-Wolves. But here we know this. The future of these two franchises is Anthony Edwards, Minnesota, and John Morant. There's other great players around. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, very good. They got nice players over on Memphis. They've drafted really well. But if you had to choose two great young players, they're certainly in the class, right? Got best players under like 22 years old. Which one would you take? And I think most people would take John Morant. Now, let's just say this. They're both going to be Hall of Famers if they stay healthy. They're both great kids. They're totally into basketball, totally into winning. They're fun. They're exciting. Their games are made for highlights. So they're going to be $500 million players. I love both of them. But here's why I would choose Ant. Muscular, strong, athletic. His comp is Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade's prime was 10 to 11 years. Dwayne was a 13-time All-Star. Now, Ant has some advantages over Dwayne Wade. He's a better shooter. Translation, won't drive to the rim as much and have collisions with bigger bodies. He is a much better shooter from the outside than Dwayne Wade was. Secondly, he came into the NBA 1 year earlier. Third, nutrition and training standards much higher today than 15, 20 years ago when Dwayne Wade walked into the league. Ant is a big, strong player who's not going to get hurt much, and his comp, Dwayne Wade, had a 10 to 11-year prime and 13 All-Stars. John Morant is an inch shorter and 50 pounds lighter. His comp is D. Rose and John Wall. Combined, they made 8 All-Star teams, both injured early. Now, I think John's much better than Westbrook, much better than Wall, but I don't think he's miles different than Derrick Rose. They both remind me of the same, although I think Jaw's a better passer. And again, when I look at Jaw and Anthony Edwards, these could be the next two great young stars in our league. But if you had to choose either, with Jaw, I see a little bit of OBJ. When he's spectacular, it's the talk of the internet. With Anthony Edwards, I see more Mike Evans. It won't be the talk as often. He won't control the ball as much. He'll play off ball more. He won't have it in his hands as much. But that kid is a 16-year NBA career and 14 All-Star games when I watch him. Body, durability, style. His comp is D. Wade. If D. Wade was a better shooter, he'd have pulled up more. There's an argument to be made. He'd still be playing. LeBron James figured that out very early, and LeBron's much bigger than D. Wade. LeBron started shooting jumpers. Like 10 years ago, LeBron started moving his game to the outside. Why? Because LeBron understood. That's why LeBron always loves playing with bigs. He wants Kevin Love to get the rebounds and Bosh to get the rebounds, Anthony Davis to get the rebounds. LeBron's like, I want to extend my career. I want to shoot a few more fallaways, a few more things from the outside. Anybody that watched Michael Jordan would tell you this. Michael Jordan played hard. Michael Jordan finished at the rim a lot. Michael Jordan got tackled a lot. It cut down his career. He aged pretty quickly after that 6th championship. But Ja and Ant are remarkable players. If I had to choose one today, based on history and precedent, I'd probably choose Ant. Joy with the news.
No.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Oh, Miami Heat overwhelmingly defeated the Hawks yesterday, 110-86. This game was over early. Trae Young scored 9 points and had 5 turnovers. So far this series, they've pretty much gone how Trae has gone. He had 8 points in game 1, 6 turnovers. Game 2, 25 points, 10 turnovers. Game 3, 24 points and 3 turnovers. And this last game, he had 9 points, 5 turnovers. He leads all players with 24 turnovers this postseason. And his first 2 career playoff games being held under 10 points. So they're kind of going how Trae Young goes, which is sort of the issue with the Hawks. They are way too dependent on Trae Young.
And
they
also
need to balance things out.
Miami's really well coached. So Miami has got a Belichickian feel. They always take away what you do best and say, okay, go play left-handed. And they made Trae work for every shot. It's what Boston's done with Kevin Durant. Every shot. Kevin Durant has not had 3 easy shots in the entire series.
Well, when you have a veteran team that has postseason experience, you're generally going to have to be a really balanced team, or your star is going to have to be a superstar because they're going to play tough defense and make things uncomfortable for you in the postseason. Let's be honest, it's a really long regular season.
Yes.
Guys who play in the postseason know what you need to have ready in the postseason. So you're just not going to get the same defensive performances night in and night out in the NBA that you're going to see on a veteran team and the well-coached team in the postseason. And that's what the Hawks are running into. Now, obviously, Miami is a better team. They're the number 1 seed in the East for a reason.
Yeah.
But they outscored Atlanta 30-15 in the second quarter and never lost the lead after that. They now have a 3-1 lead in the series.
Yeah.
Game 5 is tomorrow, and Miami and the Heat are favored by 7, according to Fox Bets. 7 is a lot, but the way that the games have gone where Trae hasn't been contributing, it's been a wide margin. I do think the Heat will close it out tomorrow night. So the Nuggets were able to avoid a sweep by the Warriors yesterday, winning 126-121. Jokic fed Will Barton for a 3-pointer from the left corner with 8.3 seconds left to secure the lead. I will say this about Jokic. His passes are unbelievable.
Yeah, he's the best passing big since Sabonis. Also, this came down to me as Warriors just couldn't make a stop. I mean, listen, Draymond's like 6 inches shorter, and Draymond's a great defensive player, but they went to Jokic. He used his size late, and he set guys up for score. Golden State could not make a stop in the last 4 minutes. Their offense they were getting great looks. Klay Thompson was great all afternoon.
Well, Jokic is the MVP favorite for a reason. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries this year, and he is the reason why they're there. He had 37 points and 14 of 21 shooting, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Aaron Gordon also had 21 points. And he helped stifle Jordan Poole, who came in averaging 28.7 points and was held to 11. So that was a huge factor in this game as well. So we'll see how this goes. Game 5 is Wednesday. The Warriors are favored by 8.5. I also think that the Warriors will tighten it up and close this out, but it was a nice effort by the Nuggets. I will say this first round of the NBA playoffs has been the best in a very long time.
If you look at the second round matchups in the East, because I think we feel like Philly's going to win it, Miami's going to win it. Milwaukee has dusted off Chicago, and so we know, and Boston's going to win.
Up 3-0, yeah.
So the second round of the East, wow, Milwaukee, Boston. Wow.
Well, we got great matchups in the first round. Obviously, Boston, Celtics and the Nets, but they've all been really competitive for the most part, close games.
Yeah.
And even when it starts to feel like they're pulling away, like the Nuggets will get a game, the Hawks will get a game, and make it all interesting. So it's been a great first round series for the playoffs. And we've dealt with some pretty disappointing injuries. So Joel Embiid tore a ligament in his thumb during Game 3 against the Raptors. And it's something he's going to have to take care of after the playoffs.
I mean, it's painful. So in the basketball, you need to use your hand a lot. So I want to play. So obviously, gotta listen to what they have to say. So I would imagine that I keep playing and probably do something after the season.
He said his thumb impacts him the most when it comes to rebounding and passing. He had 21 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists in 39 minutes in Game 4.
Boy, I'll tell you, did they fleece Brooklyn in that deal, though? That team has such good chemistry. I really you know what? I don't think they'll win the East, but I really like Philly. I think Philly's really interesting. And Harden now has not even played great, and it still works.
Well, that's what you need from Harden. You need him to give whatever the team needs in each individual series.
So it's funny
to win.
People bang on Harden because he doesn't look as quick as he did about 3 years ago when he got past people. But in the end, when he was scoring 33 and running out of gas, we all ripped him. So now let's say he scores 18 and lets Maxey emerge and is more dependable in the fourth quarter. I'm like, I'm good. Like we can't keep. He's a different player on this team. He's not needed to be the one. So it's like, if he facilitates and gives me 18, totally okay with it.
And when he did have to be the one, they had some success, but it's not like he won a championship way.
Yeah, he ran out of. He acknowledged he was so ball centric and so ball dominant. By the end of a series, he was shot.
Do what needs to be done to win games. At the end of the day, it's still a team game.
Yeah.
You're seeing the teams that have the good cultures, that have the good coaching, that have the veterans. They're the ones that are rising. Like, you have to have a little bit of balance to your roster. This is the issue with the Hawks. It can't all be how Trae Young goes. Other people have to step up.
Yeah.
So, that's what the Philadelphia, I think, has. I'm with you. I don't know if they have enough to win the East. Yeah. And this is obviously very disappointing news because Joel Embiid had an MVP level season, and he is the juice and the leader of that team. So hopefully he's able to play through it. He did have the fewest rebounds in the last 14 games played because of the thumb, but the Raptors were able to avoid the sweep, and Game 5 is tonight in Philly, and the Sixers have a chance to close out the series, which I'm sure they would like to do to give Joel Embiid some rest on that thumb. They're currently favored by 7.5, according to Fox Bet.
Good stuff, Joy, with the news.
Well, that's the